call this the meeting to order, the Historic District Commission. If I could get a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll move it.
We have any opposed? Okay, we get a motion or approval of the minutes from our last meeting.
I have some corrections first,
Okay.
please. On page 1, the very last paragraph regarding the Mrs. Talbot and her small sign that just go to the bottom. The very last sentence, it says, Ms. Talbot affirmed that the proposed sign would meet this standard. What she actually said was she imagined it would. So if we have to go back sometime and check on the minutes, that needs to be accurate. So if we could change that, Kate.
You could approve the minutes with corrections.
Pardon me?
You could approve the minutes with corrections that you make.
Well, if I don't give the corrections, who's going to know?
No, I don't have to, I understand. I'm saying I don't have to go back to then bring the minutes to correct them and bring them before you for approval again. I can take down the changes that you'd like to make and you can approve them with corrections if you would like to.
So,
Yeah, well,
okay.
that's
Sure.
the intent. I mean, that's what we always
Okay.
do. Yeah, I'm just trying to, okay.
so the first one there was what you were, was to change the,
Mrs. Talbot in her statement said that she imagined that the proposed sign would meet this standard.
So
She
instead of
did not
affirm,
affirm it. No, she imagined.
okay,
And I listened to it twice
okay.
last night just to make sure I heard her correctly. And I think we need to put in there that our acting planning and zoning director made the suggestion that we could approve the case as presented as long as it did meet the clearance requirement. Okay. I think that needs to go in there because we did not initiate that.
Okay.
Has anybody, is the sign up there?
Which case is this?
Mrs. Talbot.
Rivery. Or I don't think it's up yet.
Okay, someone from your office is going to check and let us know that it did, right?
They have to fill out, they have to fill out a sign permit first. We've not seen a sign permit for that, so it's definitely not up.
Well, how do we approve a sign without?
So they come here first to get historic approval, and then once you guys approve it, then they come back to us for a sign permit.
At that time, do you also review or look back at what the notes were, if there's any contention or anything that needs to be
Yeah.
addressed? Okay.
Yeah, when the permit comes in, we always put on there about approval or it was denied for whatever date the historic meeting was.
Okay, and then on page 2, the third paragraph regarding Salon 16, it says Suite 16 Salon. It's actually Salon 16. So we need to fix that. Okay, on page 3, the second paragraph down, where Commissioner Stearns mentioned the home that was not painted the correct color. Okay, was left out of that paragraph is the acting inspector, planning and zoning director telling us that the hire for code violations was not supposed to do any work for the historic district commission. So that needs to go in there. Oh, and on the fourth page, third paragraph, it says that I propose to bring the issue to the mayor about the need for someone to enforce what we approve, and it was actually Commissioner Moore that made that suggestion. And that's it. Does
Okay.
anybody else have anything that I may have missed?
So a motion to approve with changes, set here with what Commissioner Rose has brought up. Can we get a second?
Second.
We have a second, and all in favor? And any opposed? Okay, thank you for reading through the minutes and being very due diligent for that.
Well,
So
are
it has to be
you using the program where you record the minutes and then you just get an AI generated?
No, we don't have that.
No.
Well, okay. The minutes are extremely formal for, okay, all right.
Okay, so, we have a couple cases that we have here. Two of the cases, kind of same ownership. I'm gonna hear them both together.
Sure.
The one that's not, I'm gonna hear that one first, just so you know. So we can bring case 9-3-25-27, 12 Pitt Street. 12 Pitt Street, are you guys here, you wanna come up and come forward? You guys really get your stuff together there.
The Juice Club?
Yes.
I love it there. I have an 18-month-old grandson, and I bring him all the time.
Yeah, I got, my daughter has twins and they love it, and it's great.
It's great.
It's great, because it's healthy.
So, just for the record, just give us your address, your name, and then what you propose to do.
Yes. My name's Lincoln, 12 Pitt Street, and we wish to hang a new sign from the soffit in front of the
Okay. Commissioners, does anyone have any questions? Just regarding the signage?
It's nice to know.
Was it the same size as the other one that was there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And assuming in everything of the height requirements and everything.
Yeah, I think go out, there's still plenty of clearance, a whole
Plenty of clearance.
foot.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Lisa, any questions? Mary?
No. No,
Anything?
good. I'll make a motion to approve the sign as presented for case number, what is it? 8-3-25-27.
I'll second that motion.
Any motion? We have a second. All in favor? And any opposed? Okay. You can get your sign up.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and review case 9-3-25-26, 3 South Main Street. So I want to come forward. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, and for the record, state your address and your names and then what you're proposing to do.
My name is Madison Stoltz, and this is my husband, Nicholas Jensen, and we own Runaway Brad Berlin on 3 South Main Street. and we are hoping to get a new sign for outside our store.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just today looked over the packet well, and I knew there was going to be a bridal shop,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was going to be called Runaway Bride.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
We could have used you. My daughter's getting married in 10 days.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
so I know there is a need because we travel.
Is she gonna be a
Travel
runaway
far.
bride?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for filing for a trademark for that.
Oh.
I checked that out because
Abs-
in my working life, I manage trademarks.
Oh, okay,
That was the
yeah.
first thing I thought about.
Thanks,
And
yeah.
When I looked, you had filed, so. good
I
for you.
had, thank you, yeah, I talked to my lawyer about it, and we were very diligent with that, because I didn't want there to be any legal discrepancies, so.
Right.
I was surprised that it was on the open market, so it was good.
Good for you.
Thank you.
meant to be.
And, so I don't think there's any problem with the Piper's parking here.
No, that's very high.
Yeah.
There was no question when I went out to look at it.
This was up there, their problem with kids whacking it with their hands.
No.
Is there anybody else, any other questions or anything? I think it's pretty straightforward. Anyone want to entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve case 932526 as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion, have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
When are you opening?
As soon as I can. We're just about finished with, we have a dressing room, we're doing a little bit of painting inside. My dresses are arriving hopefully within the next week, and then I'll steam them all and
They'll be
put tags on them, and we'll be good to go.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you'll get some homecoming business.
Yeah, right now I'm just gonna do wedding dresses,
Are you?
but in the past I have done homecoming.
Not the
so-
first step.
Yeah. I hear there's a need for that too, so,
Yeah, there is.
yeah.
So-
Well, make sure you advertise your store in other places besides Berlin. You've got so many small communities, they're all young ladies and
Very
older
good point.
ladies there.
Very good
So
point.
you've got
Yeah.
Pocomoke, Princess Anne, and Shelbyville, and even, Bethany and Rehoboth Beach.
Yeah,
Wherever there's not-
absolutely.
Wherever there's not I make sure I get some advertising going.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Good luck.
Thank you,
Yeah, good
everybody,
luck to
thank
you.
you.
We'll be in to see you.
Oh,
when we
please
get it.
do, yes, thank you.
Are you getting married?
Lord, no. I got my puppy dog, that's all I'm, and just welcome her to the meeting.
Okay, case 9-3-25-28, 2 Bay Street. You guys want to come on forward up here? And then, for the record, your name, address, and your reason for being here.
Okay. Robbie Rosenblatt, 308 14th Street, in the city of Ocean City. We come before commission today because we're going to do some improvements to the outdoor area, the rear of number 1, number 3, South Main Street.
Okay. So, now what are you proposing? We're going to get into a little bit of what we got going on and what you want to do there.
Well, first I'll say what's there now is nice. We just want to elevate it. I have a tenant back there now, with a snow cone. I have, of course, we just saw with Runaway Bride, I think a nicer outside area may help their business. And as I mentioned before, and I know this is televised, but if it's not on the Hallmark Channel, my wife's not watching it. So I can tell you that I wanted to build a beautiful pocket park and then dedicate it to my wife.
Very nice.
Wow.
So,
That's terrific.
and it's
Nice to see the fall.
town.
Sure.
And
And
I'm
then
going to let
also-
Travis explain to you, he's landscape architect that I engaged for the project, and he can explain all this much better than I can.
Yeah, have you guys all had a chance to look over, to
Yeah.
review the plan. Yeah, so I mean, it's really right now in the concept stage of a preliminary, just a land use diagram, sort of outlining the different areas, what they're proposed for, the programming for it, and really what we're trying to drive is a multi-use space that can be used for the surrounding tenants, can also be used for people that are walking down to have reprieve in along the Main Street area. An open space that's welcoming and can be used year-round. I think because you guys have done such a great job with programming different events throughout the year, that this isn't just a summertime gig, it's not just a summertime park and used for floral or for any type of plants. It really could be a gathering space multiple times throughout the year, especially in the fall, when you guys have the holiday events, in the springtime, and really kind of using this as a blank canvas so that we kind of set the framework for a space that can be used for either small gatherings, that could be used for the tenants, it could be used for people that are just walking by, want to take a phone call, would like to walk out for lunch, and and then you could use this framework to sort of stage it for different themes in the hall, Pillars Convention, for Christmas, for different events. And so that's sort of what we're working with right now with this diagrammatic scheme. And for that reason, there's definitely some constraints that we have to do with the existing conditions. So right now, as you know, it's just the parking lot, asphalt, really infertile soil. They did a great job with putting some type of, planting raised beds, which is the best effort. The raised beds were a really good idea. I don't know if they meant to do it, but it also contains children, and so it's a little bit more of a protective environment from having, basically there's one way in, one way out, so as parents, you can kind of let them run around a little bit more than you probably would if you didn't have that confines. And so we're going to try and utilize that and just kind of clean it up so there's more of a unifying feel to it. So instead of having just the treated wood, we were going to skin it with the Corten metal, which definitely has multiple uses. It was, it's got a historic background because it was made by U.S. Steel and the Rockefellers, because it was economical, it was extremely durable. It kind of fits the time period of where Berlin kind of has its roots, and use that because we had the asphalt and because we are working on sort of a restricted budget. We're trying to utilize as much space as we can without having to rip up the asphalt, and that's really a big player, because that would be a huge line item, and so that would really take away from some of the other ornamental values that we were trying to impose on it. And so for that reason, what we did is strategically sort of make the path from the entry arch all the way out towards where you have the two entrances of the tenants, which is the Snowball and then the Runaway Bride. And so what that does is it kind of creates a wayfinding from the entrance all the way up to sort of the storefronts, and divides two separate areas for more passive seating. So what we have is we have some built-in benching from on the inside of where you have the planters, and then a few seats with umbrellas if you wanted to. You didn't have to, but kind of looking and mimicking with what we have out there right now. And then on the very bottom in that pie-shaped area that was sort of unutilized because it comes all the way down to a point, we decided on creating just a low-level boardwalk. And what we thought is that for normal occurrences and day-to-day, you can have a seating up that way. But if you had special events, you could either, if you wanted to have a performer, or if you wanted to have an acoustic guitar, if you wanted to have something, some type of event or speech or something along those lines, it kind of sets the stage for that area. And then on the left-hand side, against the wall, which is a really big wall, we're going to try and create some type of water feature. And so the water feature in that angle will actually fit really well, because you can see it from the corner of all what are the streets? The two streets right here. So you get visibility. And so what that does is that'll attract people, and that'll say, hey, look, this is the park, there's something going on. What it also does is it mitigates the sound from any type of street traffic, so it has that calming feel when you're inside of there. And I think Robbie might like to, that could be a dedication, that could be an area that you could put a plaque, for his wife or for something along those lines.
There's no other water feature in town, that's a winner.
There it is, there it is. So I think those are the big drivers. What we were also thinking about doing is a couple tree planters, trying to bring down the urban heat effect, get some trees in that way. They look wonderful throughout the season when it comes to, either bistro lighting or Christmas lighting or some type of decoration. And what that'll do is that'll kind of create a little bit more shade. It'll bring it down to a humanistic feel instead of being surrounded by a bunch of taller buildings, and just the pure ornamental value of it.
Well, it's like what I call a handkerchief park.
Yeah.
I remember, I was in the landscape contracting business with my husband, and I remember one of the things he took on was, I don't know if you're familiar with Taylor Bank, which is right on the corner of South Main Street, and help me, is it Pitts? What is it, Carol? The little one there. I said, well, there's no place to plant anything there. I mean, it is, if you look at it, a tiny little oasis, and then taking those magnolia trees and just putting up against the wall, and I never go by and would say, thank heaven, some more green in Berlin. I mean, there's nothing more resting to the eye and nothing more luxurious, really. And as we talked about the asphalt, the brick, the stone, it's such a softening. I mean, it's really, I can't see how it can't be a total winner. And you just said the word waterfall, so I know you've got water source to keep everything green. And I just like the quality. I realize this isn't the final project, but I like where your eyes, both of you, where your eyes were and what you were looking for. And I can see how the eye could just travel there and not like, oh, this, we're just putting a tree and something here and something there, which we've had basically, when you said, Carol, before, someone wants to do some plastic planters and come up, remember that one well, but to see something of that, Robbie, the structure and quality, it's such a gift back to Berlin.
Right.
And this is such a special village, and it's a special town. And to have something like that, I think it's just, I'm very surprised, not surprised, but I just didn't expect it to be so grand of that. One quick question, we tried the asphalt. Would stone dust be not doable on, like, for a path there, when you, do you know what I mean? If you put it down, then you wet it, and it gets almost hard like asphalt. It does have some flow to it, but thinking about...
It tends to migrate a little bit, and I think that would retain a little bit of the snow cone juice. I think that a little bit of mix. It's a lot easier to clean off the pavers.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're always trying to design for the wet weather in the springtime or in the fall, where you're not doing that one step forward, two steps back.
For a moment, I was looking at the park and forgot all about the other picture.
I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, that path won't be all concrete. We're going to break it up so there'll be green in between.
Oh, that's a good look.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really good look, yeah.
So it won't be straight concrete.
No, I mean, we specify permeable pavers, and so from a stormwater management perspective, there's a couple downspouts that are coming into that area already, so we can utilize the permeable pavers for it to kind of reduce the stormwater and enhance the stormwater management, and then also use the raised planters to collect the stormwater so they act as small rain gardens.
I love that waterfall. I mean, that's terrific.
And I think that you were right when you said protecting kids, because that has been a dangerous corner before. There have been several accidents there. And, that barrier does, help. And it helps.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Some parts of it, when I first looked, I felt were a little contemporary. There's some hard edges, some, for a Victorian town. But I think that you've added, I especially like the tree planters. And I do think you're right. That is going to soften the look of it. And first of all, I trust what Mary says anyway, because
If anybody knows plan.
Mary knows.
But I'm opinionated, I have what I call the eye.
Yeah.
And if
And
your eye
if her eye
doesn't flow,
approves
you
it.
go, oh, yellow planters, where's the other yellow? I mean,
Well, if her
Well,
eye
obviously, you wouldn't be hired by
approves it.
Robbie if you didn't feel you were
Yeah.
a special person for this project, I'd say that.
But I think that it's such a great thing that you're doing for the town.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it isn't being done, fly by night. In a couple of years, it's not gonna, this looks like it's quality, and it's not gonna look, terrible in a few years. To me, that's a big, with outdoor things. And the fountain is gonna block out a lot of the noise. It's just, it's a nice thing.
As I mentioned, I'm putting my wife's name on it, so
Oh, that's
it has to
wonderful.
stay nice.
It's nice.
I love the dignity of all that, that's wonderful, yeah.
I like that you can just get the snowball right there too. And they put the colored lights on the, did you see that at nighttime? There's bright lights, which
Yeah.
draws you to the snowball place on the side of the building. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that we, as the board, should approve this. I personally feel like you know exactly what to go in there as far as plannings that are gonna be. I don't, I don't,
think-
I mean, really. and
Well, the
truly.
plantings are gonna soften the hard lines. to me.
Exactly,
Is there, so when you have a final of exactly what's going to be put in there, I'd like to see it.
Oh, we
Just-
have to,
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, we can approve going forward, but not to approve the exact work to what you want to do until we know exactly what you want.
well, that's what they're here for, right?
Well,
To-
no,
to
because
get
he-
together.
Presentation.
Well, right, but they're not looking for the approval of
No.
doing the work right now. What they're looking for is to move forward, that we're okay with.
With what they are anticipating, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
preliminary.
I think we should
Okay.
go ahead and let them.
We still have, more to your point, we still have quite a bit of work to do on the final design.
Yeah, so we would, the next phase would then include a planting plan, which would then call out all the different plants with what you have. It would call out the final paper material, the color, the make, all of that. A lighting plan for low voltage landscape lighting, some of the water feature elements. So a lot of those details would come, and I think would answer a lot of your questions.
I was just going to inject one thought I have. You're saying, I think one of the best things that it needs in there as well is something that in the winter has the green life to it as well. So many, I know, contractors today, when they're doing homes, which you'll see a crepe myrtle and roses and some grasses because they're inexpensive. And the sad thing is, I always bothered me about this, is the towns of Berlin and Norney, I always wonder if there's the towns of the cottages down Broad Street from us. When the Schroeder came in here from Hagerstown or wherever he was and talked this big talk, what he was gonna do, it looks nice in the summer. In the winter, I thought, where do the birds go? Those older people, would love to sit on the porches and see birds. And birds will go into holly trees and dents. And what you have is, if you just look at it, it looks okay now, but the minute fall comes and all those leaves disappear, those folks don't have anything to look at. So I love the quality of finding that, and I know it will be there in whatever form suits you all best, and when you make your presentation, because there is something about January, February, even though there aren't as many tourists walking around, it's really nice to have that continued park look. And there hasn't been a park in Berlin, and I'm thinking the 70s, because my husband was president of the first park commission in Berlin when we finally had a park in Berlin. I mean, the Phillips family donated part of their private homeland, their farmland, to the town, which is a Berlin park now with the paths. And I've watched how the town is, and Carol, you've seen how it's evolved. It's been such a wonderful 50 years ago. It seems like it doesn't. Yeah. Congratulations, Roddy, for finding this. You two, I can see your minds are working well together.
We just want to make sure that we were heading in the right direction.
Oh,
But yes, you are.
Since I Adrian, that creepy John, I'm like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
I don't want us
Definitely.
to be the ones to hold them up from going ahead to making the final to us. Are you planning to plant in the spring, or, what's your thought?
I mean, in a perfect scenario, we would get a lot of the hardscape, and we would do a lot of the, the structural in the fall, based around whatever your events are, so we're not creating a nuisance to it. And then there are certain plants that would be better to be planted in the fall, and then there's other smaller tender perennials that may be better suited to be infilled later on in the spring.
And all of a sudden you have the burst of color and all, which is so inviting.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I love the lights in that one. I love the thought of the light. When people come out of the hotel, when they ever go down, they're going to South Point at night, you come around that corner and your eyes are always caught by the lights and things like that. I love that. It's a nice thought too.
I mean, October, do they have enough time, to be on our October agenda.
What's your timeline on like your final plans?
I mean,
Are you looking at, we meet once a month.
Right.
We
Yeah,
get you
we
back
know.
in here. so we
what
can
would be
see.
the next deadline to submit that?
So the next meeting is going to be October 1st.
Okay.
It's 30 days before, so you just missed that actually.
And we can't get on the agenda for October, maybe for November.
It's a little late to plan.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
asking the question.
Well, those beds against the other building, those beds stay where they are. We're just going to reface them, correct? So we could plant, you look,
Yeah.
we need approval for which plants? I'm just not.
I think it's that, yeah.
Not for typically the plants, it's planters, you know, exactly where.
Typically, plants would be the last thing
Pretty
that you
much
would
your final-
install.
just your final architecturals to you, Rob.
Okay.
And then that's what we would want to see. I don't have any, I think he can email them to us. Then we can see them that way.
I can certainly do that within
I mean,
the next 2 weeks.
By seeing, if we saw you in November, is that holding you up, or is
Well,
everything
you
going to be
really
ready to go
like
by
to,
then?
Some of the trees, if they were going to be anything of size, you like it earlier.
When are you planning to having everything planted? If he has everything to you for, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then, is that your timeline?
Well, I would like to try to get most of this work,
Started.
construction work done, I'm going to say by the end of January, because
Okay.
you're aware that when you start to get into the spring, trying to find contractors
Yeah.
and you know, get at the best price is difficult.
And the twofold of that is because of this area has just boomed, anyone has to be in Sussex County and see what happened to all the cornfields and soybean fields, whatever. The landscape plants, you start having to travel further and further and further down into Tennessee and places like that because all the nurseries of note on the Eastern Shore of Virginia, with the exception of about 2, they got such big offers to buy their property for developments that they'll sell out the landscape businesses, and I understand, Southern States, that was one of their big things when they started selling everything, as people quit having, animals around Worcester County, and they realized they could have more value in their property than what they sold. So it is things, but with the adequate water you have, that shouldn't be, I was thinking of the fountain and all that, and have the water supply, and it's a protected, you've got 2 walls there from the elements, so if it came in a little late, you don't have the winter winds or things like that, or that it's a warming thing to have the brick and have 2 walls protecting it. So that's quite an advantage, as I see it, too.
If they got here on our November meeting, does that back you up that if we approved, we saw your final rendering in our November meeting, and you get an approval, you could theoretically start your work immediately?
Well,
After getting permitting and everything that you would need to get from the county.
Permitting and construction.
Yeah, once I think we have probably enough now knowing what material we want to use. I can get my contractors start looking at it and getting
If
it
it
scheduled.
needs to be done, the question why I'm asking to bring you back, to line you up for the November meeting, is it's a public hearing, and we need to make that public as well to show.
Okay.
Now, we have also done it in the form of an email as we table, we could table it, and then you would send us an email, and the commissioner, we would approve going forward that we made progress in the approval of changing to the park area. And then you would email us your final rendering, and then we can approve it, or if we have any questions, come back to you in that form.
What's the deadline for submission for
November?
November?
October 8th.
For that, can you have plans done by October 8th? We'll shoot for November.
And that just kind of doesn't really put a rush on things, and
That's fine.
and once you get it in, there's still a little bit of wiggle there.
Yeah.
Just get it in, and then on the finals,
Absolutely.
we can go back.
Okay.
And if you're here for a meeting, if there's anyone in the community that wants to come and has a question, there's an opportunity. That usually happens.
Sure.
I might want to ask them.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I had a thought about the paint on the trim.
Oh,
I was actually looking at it on my way here. I think it would be just so easy just to paint whatever's pink with the two-tone green that's already there. Because then you could just be done, you wouldn't have to redo. And there is,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just saying, I can't hear you.
I'm saying, I think it would be easier to paint whatever the pink trim is to the two-tone green.
Oh, absolutely. The greens that flow through the town. I mean,
Because it would
everything
make
else
the
is
two
junk.
buildings cohesive.
And all that area is, that
Yeah.
was the
Long
grease.
green.
And the green is in the turret, in the slate.
Uh-huh.
And I love the two-tone gold idea, but with I've been looking at it, and with the candy store being already green, and then we've painted the green on the back.
Right.
I just think the easiest thing and the most cohesive thing that would make it all flow would be just to do the two-tone green wherever it's pink, and it would save you from having to do, and that's just my thought.
Well, it's a flow again through the town. I always think of Berlin as sort of like Telluride and Dead End Canyon with the Taylor House, but out there, of course, it's a waterfall. And the canyon, you have this wonderful, from South Main Street to North Main Street look. And I think, again, part of that flow is there's so much continuity and such a flow there. It isn't, oh, look, I mean, Ned France is gone. You were here when he was here in the morning. I just hear about his shop, the little things that the kids remember, my children, how Berlin was almost like polka dots. I mean, it was every little thing had its own personality, which was the turn of the century and 40s and 50s and all that. But when the colors started coming together like that, there was such a flow down Main Street. And it wasn't, we talked about, we weren't trying to create Williamsburg or Busch Gardens or any of the other theme parks or things around, which some people were sort of thinking because of the films. There's nothing like this anymore. People have shopping centers. The reason they stand in the middle of the street and take pictures is they think it's a movie set.
Right.
They don't know that people travel up and down Main Street. You're going to run over them one day because you just don't have anything like this. And a lot of that is just the flow. That's why I agree with what you're saying, Laura, for sure.
And people don't think that the Atlantic actually is a working hotel.
You go out back
Yeah.
and the board's saying like this, holding it up.
They say, this is actually a hotel. But that's just a suggestion. To me, it seems like an easy solution to something that has been plaguing you. And if,
Well, as I said last time, you told me what color to paint.
I say
That's
green.
the color I'll paint.
Find a color green,
But I-
moss green.
I thought you got somebody
any
who was
green
gonna
that
get up to
flows
Sue
with that.
Moore and.
The park,
I did, but she was saying paint this building with the yellow and the two-tone yellow. And I respect her and
Right.
love her, but I just think it's making it more complicated than it has to be.
It makes it stick out and instead of being more beautiful, it becomes like, oh, that's odd. And I think this is why the presentation, the photos or landscape architect books, or you pulled some of these from, the elegance is in the green and all the different variations. Well, money's green, pool tables are green. They say that that's why people love green so much. But there's a flow and so many variances that all flow together. And I hadn't thought about that as much as you're saying, but all of a sudden with this beauty of this park and all of this, I would love to see it in part of the Green family as well. If that's not, I don't know if you all feel, but that's mine.
I don't care.
I know.
I just-
Okay.
That's why I'm just.
We
And
care.
I'm
that's
glad I
good.
know that because we were just about to paint the door
Yeah.
to the apartment that we built. We were
Yeah.
just about to paint that, one of those gold colors.
You are,
That Sue had picked out, but,
It's such a-
we haven't started.
That's what, I mean, that's what I think. I think it all should just go.
Well, you were very kind to respect me for my landscape. I will certainly say, because I have seen your home and seen you have the eye, and I don't question what it is. And the thing about, as I call it, Pepto-Bismol pink, when it first popped onto the scene, it was a weekend, no one was here, and PNC decided, we're going to paint this trim. And we all was like, what happened? Where did this come from? It was never even brought to any of the historic districts.
And the one bright white big window would look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll paint that
That's like magic
also,
marker.
but
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's just gonna make your properties from front to back just this magnificent building, and your building and the hotel and Taylor Bank, those are the jewels of Berlin, in my opinion. They're the ones that are really significant and have a statement to people about the town, and it's very exciting to me when someone comes here and sees that potential and is willing to make an investment in something that's aesthetic, that you're really not going to be getting back, that what you're giving back to the town. And I'm personally, Carol and I have been on this committee so long that we've seen a lot of things coming and going, and very appreciative myself. I'm sure you all too, because it's rare.
You're
Very rare.
taking an area that could just have been a forgotten area.
Yes.
And to make it very vibrant and welcoming. You know?
And
fairness
with
to
you
the
all, with your
previous owners,
office, that you come into your
they
office
did.
every day and you look out, and see
Create-
something so attractive. How nice is that?
Now, to be official, so in the, for case 9-3-25-28, can we get a motion to table? Because they're gonna get on for our November's with their final, so, Commissioner, we get, you want, this one will entertain
Well,
motion,
wait a minute. Are we-
however you want to do it.
Well, I think we ought to somehow express that all of us are good with the plan.
Moving forward.
With them moving forward to the next, can we do it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. You pick the oldest one here, just about to make a supper meal.
No, I think I got you, Carol.
All right, let's see here. I make a motion on case 9-3-25-28 that, the applicant is approved to go forward towards their final presentation as it relates to placement and materials on the planners, types of planning and so forth. And they will appear at the November meeting for final approval.
Okay.
Carol.
Good, a motion, do I have a second?
I second it.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and any opposed? Okay, we're moving forward.
just so you know, that my daughter will be sitting here because I won't be in town for the November hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since she's your daughter, I'm sure she has
Two
some
questions.
Of course.
That are just, they're not about this, but they're about the building. On Main Street, on a second floor, there's a window that's broken. Has
Yep.
that been fixed, or is it
Well,
in the works of being?
Good question, and I got a great answer for you, one you'll be happy with. We had 4 other windows in the building and upstairs that can't be seen at all by the public.
Right, right.
So we replaced those windows, we came, I think it was in the September hearing for that. Maybe it's August, I take it back, it's August. September. That front window, we're rebuilding to look like it's the original window.
Mhm.
So it won't, it'll be wood, it'll still have the rope thing and, that brings the window up and down. I'm having someone actually rebuild that window. We were hoping it would be in this week, but my contractor assures me that it will definitely be in sometime next week.
And
Yeah.
Love that answer.
Yeah, he's not doing it, he sent it out to some guy who does that kind of work.
A citizen sent to me,
Yeah.
a picture concerned that the glass could come loose. And
Sure.
Have somebody
You don't, I'll
check
have
that
to look. I
glass?
don't know what they
That's
do.
my only. was-
Yeah, we can't take it out yet because of it's something to do with the frame. I wish I could give you a better answer.
Well, as long as you feel like the glass is, not gonna just,
All I can say is it hasn't yet, but I'll have the contractor
Well,
I'll be with
you know.
tomorrow look at it. Yeah, it doesn't until it does.
Right.
You had 2 questions.
Yes. Now, on the, when you're looking at the snowball stand, okay? To the left, you've got the doorway that goes into the new bridal shop, okay? And then right beside there, it's like, and it must be supplies, I think, for the snowball stand. But it's, do you know what I'm talking about? There's things sitting on the outside there.
HVAC?
No, it doesn't look like, where did we see it? It was in the packet, yeah.
It is
I think they might be the minis, but.
There, right there.
Is that what it is?
Look up here, Carol.
Okay, yeah, has that always been there like that?
It was there when I bought it.
Okay.
Those are the air conditioning units.
Okay, all right.
Is there anything we can maybe put in front of it?
We were going to put some lattice screening and some plants in
Something
that,
maybe,
yeah.
I mean, I've been in and out of that door numerous times before even the people, I guess on my end, I just don't
Congressman
remember those.
Congressman Johnson's loan office.
I don't know, but I just don't remember those there. And it's a little unsightly if you're going to spend all that money to.
But I think Travis just answered your question. You do lattice work?
Yeah, we'll just
bring
throw
them in
lattice
front of
screening,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's
that's
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate your
Robbie, your
time.
building has illustrious history.
It does. Tell me what, I don't
Oh,
know it
no,
all.
did you know who Thomas Johnson was, who's developed his home, is at the end of South Point, the very
Yeah.
last,
Yeah.
he was our United States Congressman representing here, and someone explained to me, older than myself, that, well, that's how the Stone Road got all the way down there, because he decided to build there, and his wife liked horses, and they did the stables over there. And this little pink door here, my husband told me that you went upstairs, and he also loaned money to people, so he had like a little saving, I'm gonna call it his own personal
That
savings.
was upstairs?
I have not been up there, but.
And that's what we just converted to
Yeah.
an apartment.
So there you go, it's
Yeah,
got
I'd
a
heard that.
history,
I'd heard that,
a
too.
political history up there, yeah.
I had heard that.
I think that's even before I was born.
Well, I'm sure.
That's what that is, so long.
Well, I don't know, his children are about our age, so maybe,
You
yeah.
notice that pink door is gone.
Yes, thank you
Place.
so much, yes. It was Elizabeth Arden Salon or something, they always had pink doors, but I know it wouldn't do well in Berlin, so. That's great, I'm just thrilled.
Thank you very
Really,
much.
Travis,
Thank you.
and great presentation.
Thank you.
A lot of work, yeah, this would be great.
Okay, is there any comments from the public to anything? The supporters? All right, comments from the staff, anything? These guys? Commissioners?
I want to make a comment. This has been one of the most pleasurable ones we've done where we haven't had to talk to people who say, well, I bought the property, but now I don't have enough money to do what you're telling us to do. And I know once I was so tired of it, I think I said, well, that's why we have banks in town. They'll come take care of that, then come back to us and we can go from there. So we have a lot of, this has been just a really interesting, and I'm very excited about, to me, and just another phase in Berlin. And I was in Easton not too long ago, where I used to go to shop and go to the hotel for lunch, and that was the place. And this whole segment of the shore, if you wanted something really, really nice, or there was no one on the street, and I was sitting in the hotel looking out the Tidewater. Some of my favorite nice shops are gone, and they're low-end shops now. They're not going to be like a bridal shop. It's just a total difference. I don't know Berlin, but the last 10 years, or 5 years really, that was a big surprise. So congratulations, Berlin, and everyone trying to keep it. People love nice things, no matter what your walk of life. If you can't afford it, just visually, like an art gallery, just to walk through and get this feeling. In a park-like area, where the saddest thing in Berlin, we miss, stately trees are gone now. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Everybody here, such a great evening of presentations of quality. Yeah, I know.
Any other commissioners, anything else that?
Just a quick, how Mary's doing? Is she gonna be back to work soon, our Mary Bowman?
She came back last week.
Oh, good, so
Yes,
she's,
she's-
okay, great.
Coming up and up.
And I spoke with her, John Holloway texted me today, and he's recovering from his surgery. Their
Oh,
grandson,
wonderful.
he'll be back at our next meeting, and I won't be so happy because
Why,
I have
'cause you're
another
another
man.
man up here?
Another man up here.
With all the chatty ladies.
These chatty women up here.
We have two ballots, we have two bookends up here.
But John, he said he's doing fine, he's recovering great, and he's looking forward.
Helen is dismissed, yeah.
Get a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Be adjourned.
Thank you so much.